Yes, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the DAHGRILDER podcast show. Hell yeah, I was doing my strolling and trolling thing, and I came across some interesting article. We're going to just jump right off into this thing. Xenotransplantation. I don't know if you've heard of this, but I think Dr. Moreau's Island has made it to the public. Basically, this article stated that they have successfully transplanted a pig's kidney into a dead woman's body. Yep, you heard me correctly. Dead woman's body. Now, thinking about that for a second. How you transplant organs into dead tissue? But basically, I guess the woman passed away. The family had to sign over the body. And they put the woman on a ventilator, so that kept everything. She was pronounced legally dead. I'm going to get into the back because you have to be pronounced legally dead. And when that was pronounced, I guess they went ahead and once the paperwork was done, they went in and they implanted a pig's kidney into this woman's body. And they say it was a success. The body did not reject the kidney. Now, with that rejection or it not rejecting the kidney, they said it was a success, or it is showing a lot of promise. Now, I don't know how much promise you get from putting animal organs into humans, but the goal is to save human lives. That's what they say. So they've been doing this for a while. Obviously, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, I know I always call them something else, but the FDA, I hope I'm even saying it correctly now, but the FDA approved this gene alteration last December. And there is a lab, it's a biotech lab. They've been approved to basically engineer pigs for this purpose. And for years they say they've already been using pig skin for burn victims as a part of skin grafting. But so they've been doing that for years, but now they're using the pig organs, or they're going into this experiment trying to save lives. That's gold. And they say they'll save thousands upon thousands of lives just by engineering these pigs to use their organs for the replacement in humans. But it hadn't been approved to be done in live humans. I mean, you could just imagine that happening now. If they begin to use pig organs in humans, then we're going to see some interesting results, because, like I said, I did mention that old movie, Dr. Moreau's Island, and you saw pig men, beef men. It was a culture shock back then to even see that being a thought or a consideration. But now, after my strolling and trolling thing, I can guarantee you something is a rise. Now, here's my opinion. With my opinionated ass, you want to start playing God, you're gonna get some God-like results. You're gonna get some bad things happening, because once you put other animal organs or animal parts in humans, it's gonna change the DNA, baby. Now, I'm not talking about the persons whose lives you save. I'm talking about if you save the life of a person who wants to procreate, to reproduce, the effect might be not something we want. So I'm pretty sure we're probably 20 to 30 years from them actually trying to do this. I hope we're 20 to 30 years away from that. I even hope that I'm dead and gone before I see the effects of this DNA mixture. But it's a true story. You can Google that. It is a biotech company. They do have a federal grant, or not federal grant, I'm sorry, it's a private grant, but they do have a grant, and that grant is allowing them to go ahead and if they are approved for human clinical trials, because everything has a clinical trial, if they are approved for it, then look out. I was watching Seinfeld. I'm kind of doing that on Netflix, and I'm gonna get to Netflix at the end of this. But there was an episode where the character Kramer went to the hospital, and there was a pig man in there, and they were actually, the hospital that they were at was supposedly already approved to do this pig gene manipulation thing, Xenotransplantation, and there was a pig man in there. So hey, TV, sometimes you have to pay attention, because TV of the past is, even though it's joking, or even like I said, Dr. Moreau's Island, that's an old movie. It's a part of some scientist's imagination, or it becomes a part of their goal. Now, moving on, I was now this is kind of disturbing, so I'll try to make light of it, but the mandate has affected one of the cities with the highest murder rate per capita in the United States, Chicago. By the weekend, it is said that Chicago may have 50% of their police force at work. 50. Now, the data even went forward and said above 75% of the cops have already complied with, drum roll please, the mandate that the president set down for the vaccination. So basically, it's saying that a lot of the frontline workers in Chicago, over 75%, have complied with the vaccination requests by their supervisors or by the managers in whatever department they work in. But 50% of the officers did not. Half the force will be sent home for the weekend by September the 30th. So, Chicago, if you live in Chicago, I'm praying for you. You're in everybody's prayers, because there's an issue. I mean, this could possibly be one of the bloodiest weekends since the Prohibition era, since the Al Capone era, since the gangsters, since the Tommy guns, since the shootouts in the streets over liquor. So Chicago, if you got anybody in Chicago, give them a call, talk to them, because without the cops, we know that city is just, per capita, it's just a dangerous city. It's not dangerous because it's just is. I mean, it's historically is. Has nothing to do with race or origin of the people. It's just always been a violent city, and that violence now will not have the great men and women of the police force, or not have supposedly half of them to help them through. So keep them in your prayers. If you got family in Chicago, you need to check on them and make sure they know what's going on. If you get this, send it out. That is also in the news. Now, of course, what I'm doing with these episodes now, I'm trying to keep you updated as much as I can, because some people don't stroll and troll like I do. But if you're a strolling troller, if you're not, I want you to get into strolling and trolling, and you'll get a lot of information. Do not watch videos. Now, I have learned that when I'm doing anything research, do not watch videos, because it's just like people will put their emotions into the article, or their emotions into the news. So be mindful of that. But we're going to move on to Netflix. Everybody's talking about Dave Chappelle, so I'm not going to get into that. But I'm going to get into the real side of it, the side that you and I are mostly affected by. Now, they got Netflix employees that are planning to boycott, walk out, because the streaming giant is choosing to continue to stream Dave Chappelle's special, his comedy special. I hadn't watched it. I'm just not a big follower. When people are talking about something, and the reason that they're talking about it, it's not going to make me interested in it to see what he said, because everybody's posting what he said. So I'm not really interested. So these people are planning to walk out to basically boycott their employer. I'm pretty sure they got some rules, but there's a flip side to this, and I'll get to my opinion side of it. The flip side of this is these people walking out, you know they're going to get terminated. That's going to be the end result of that. And Netflix is a company that has over 100 employees. So these people that are walking out are just making it easier for Netflix to balance their numbers. That's all they doing. They think they making a point to us, society, to get 15 minutes of fame, so the reporter can come over to them and say, so why are you out here? What are you doing? What makes you want to be out here and and boycotting your company who has paid your bills and took care of your kids and your family for all these years? Why you out here over a stream, over an episode, over something that won't be around or won't be talked about in the next 30 to 100 days? Why you out here making a permanent decision for your life over something that won't be around forever? That guy's a comedian. Like he said, he already got paid. Now, boycotting Netflix is not a federal entity. It's not a state entity. It is not going to do anything for social change at all. At all. Now, if you want to change or do something to change the social perception of Netflix, suggest that we cancel our subscription. Don't boycott. Go on television and tell us, cancel our subscription because of this. You're an employee. I mean, hell, look at Facebook. They got whistleblowers everywhere. They just tweet, twerk. They just talking, boy. They cackling over there, Facebook. But whistleblower money is $30 million. 3% of $30 million or $3 million. There's a 3 in there somewhere. But whistleblowing has a baseline number that you get paid once the court proceeding is over. And the people who are snitching on Facebook, they gonna get some money. And they only doing it for money. Because Facebook ain't going nowhere. I'm about to post this episode to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. Facebook ain't going nowhere. But back to the people. They think this whole boycotting Netflix is gonna change. Now, my opinion starts again. If you want me to feel like you are trying to push for social change as an employee of this streaming giant, suggest that once you quit your job, don't boycott, quit. Once you quit your job, go on to any media outlet, you and your other 5 coworkers or whoever is doing this, go on to social media, go on to media platforms, go on to the news, and you start a petition or a movement for Netflix customers to cancel their subscription. And I guarantee you won't get nothing. Because Netflix is a distraction for working moms who are doing that long drive. They got their kid in the back, and the kid's favorite TV show or favorite cartoon is on Netflix. So their mom got to pop Netflix on to keep. And I'm just dropping Netflix name. I'm gonna add Netflix in that. So actually, I'm gonna add them in this. So Netflix is needed by moms in carpools. I'll just say that. It's an entertainment. It's for entertainment. Netflix is an entertainment giant. Now, if you choose to boycott Mr. Chappelle, you gotta find the man. The man is out there everywhere. Boy, if you thinking boycotting Netflix means you're boycotting Dave Chappelle, you're boycotting a corporation's decision to push a show or to push a special, you're wrong. And don't try to fool us. Stop trying to fool we the people. I don't care who you are. Don't come at us with that foolery, because only thing that's gonna happen, here's really what's gonna happen. All that boycotting and that protesting against their employer is gonna turn into the stock prices dropping. And when the stock prices drop, they're gonna have to make some cuts anyway, just to balance it out. It's about that dollar, baby. It's about that dollar. So if you're watching that on TV, if you're watching that unfold and you saying to yourself, yeah, I'm glad they're doing it, man, be for real. It's a social media giant, and they have been raising their prices for years. So all Netflix as a business is going to do is to bring you back, is to lower the subscription rate after they've lost their stock market prices because they got these disloyal employees who don't understand. Let it play out on another level. Let it play out. If the LGBTQ community wants to sue Netflix as a company to have this taken down because they feel it's oppressing them, let that be done on a legal level. But people, we the people, don't be fooled. These employees who are walking out on that company have been fed by that company, and they're doing it for 15 minutes of fame. That's all they're doing it for. And if you don't believe that, cancel your subscription. But you can't. It's entertainment. Netflix is entertainment, and that's it. And this has been another episode of the Grilder Podcast Show. I want to thank you for listening.